No, for us, it's mainly about when the next game has to be played. So we finished the game at Nashville, coming out of a sequence 3 games in 6 days. So the guys were off for 2 days after Nashville, and then we started training again and preparing ourselves the best way we can to be ready for the Atlanta game. So normal schedule.
All right. But that period of time, plus not having all your players, what were some of the foundation items that you tried to maybe pull through or push through to get ready for the match?
Yeah, interesting question because you know as well as I do, once a few key pieces are off to the national team, things change. But we have a roster where I believe, or we believe, that we can replace these guys. So all the focus once we finished from Nashville went into these guys and getting them prepared in order to play the game that is ahead, and making sure that the cohesion or the chemistry is starting to develop more because a few other guys will have to play now from the beginning and not come on as a sub. Goalkeeper is a big piece, Tomas instead of Matt, and so a few others as well on the roster. But just making sure throughout the period that we had between finishing Nashville and going into the Atlanta game that the chemistry between the players that most probably will start this game is in the right place.
That's interesting because you could assume certain people are going to play in certain positions based on history from this year, but were there any situations set up where there was actual competition going for the playing time coming into this one?
Yeah, for sure. But that's not only going into this game because that is the culture and the atmosphere that we've created from day one. So it's very competitive, and now there are a few pieces with the national team, so you know you have to be ready, and we have the team in our head that will play from the start.
Onto the Zoom, we'll go with Michael.
Yeah, Coach. So you had this game against Atlanta. It's coming back. You're looking back into the March game, in the 29th. You obviously let that one slip away. Must feel like a game you probably should have won. How much have you taken into account, what happened in that game, the mistakes of that game, and preparing for the game on Thursday?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question because that was one of our games where we played pretty decent for an hour. After the hour mark, we didn't sense well enough in what kind of state the team of Atlanta was. So that was a big lesson going forward in the total process of our development within our team. So that is something that we addressed going into this game. Obviously, we've played much more games since then, but it's part of the preparation going into this game, knowing that we played quite well for an hour, but not well enough in order to win this game.
Jonathan? Looks like you're muted, Jonathan. We can't hear you. Jonathan, we'll come back to you. Christian, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. You touched on Matt there. He obviously made his international debut at the weekend. What does it say about him as a person and a player that he's managed to achieve that?
Well, I think it's a confirmation that Matt is really still developing himself and moving forward in a very, very good direction. He's been a massive piece for us going into this season. I think he played some really good matches over the 17 matches that we've played, and he earned his spot within the national team. So we were all very pleased and very happy for Matt when we heard he was going to start the game against Turkey. And I think there's much more to come also because I see Matt work every day and making the progress that he's been making. So I think there's much more to come.
And
Go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry, just if I could follow up there. Looking back at the game against Chicago, you were very complimentary about Monsef Bakrar's
Yeah.
involvement and his hard work and stepping into the moment, if you will.
Mhm.
How important is that mentality when it comes to moments like this, where you're asking players to step in and seize that moment?
Yeah, it's a huge moment, of course. And I think it's for Munsev in particular a fantastic moment to step in again because he knows Alonso is not available because of the national team games that he has to play. So Munsev will get his play time now, and it's up to him to just move keep moving in the right direction as he's been doing all season. And it's been very tough for him because having a number 9 like Alonso in front of you is a big challenge for any striker. But he's looking forward to play this match, and I hope he can show what he shows on a daily routine within our training sessions.
Jonathan?
Hi, sorry about that previously. Jonathan from AM New York,
Hi,
coach. Your back line had stayed relatively the same throughout the month of May with the back four.
Mhm.
And then against Nashville, we saw a back three, a back five, however you want to look at it. Is that something that we can expect to see more of the season, or is that something that was just tactically for the game against Nashville?
If I understand your question correct, Jonathan, you're assuming that we play with a back 5 against Nashville?
Yeah, with Ojeda somewhere in between the right channels. Yeah, that's what I have down.
Okay. Well, just to help you get through this, we were not playing with a back 5. Our back 4 was exactly the same as the previous games with Burke, Justin, Thiago, and Tavon, and Justin looking for his moments to be in midfield. So that has been the situation over the past few games, and I think we were quite successful with that. Even though we conceded 5 goals in 2 matches, one very strong opponent, Nashville, and the other one against Houston, where we defensively didn't play our game as we should have. But there were moments where we looked really exposed and got punished for it. But I don't recognize what you're saying about the back 5 against Nashville.
Thank you for the clarification, Pascal.
Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, just another couple of questions here. The first, I just wonder if you can give me an update on the health of the team and anybody on the squad that's still missing, Kevin O'Toole, Keaton Parks, those kind of updates. And then just following up on my other question about the March game versus this game, do you see the progress? You mentioned that you played lots of games in between there. Do you see this as a game that can be a litmus test or progress for the club, like where you've come this season?
Injury-wise, was your first question. We're very happy that Kevin O'Toole will be part of the roster again. However, Keats is unfortunately not available for us going into this game. I think he'll be out for a while still, considering the problems he still has and had with his foot. So we'll have to be a little bit more patient in order to get him back on the roster. Mali is still injured, and apart from the guys that are the national team, all the other guys are available. So that's a good thing. As I mentioned to your colleague just now, the game of March against Atlanta is something that we took in consideration and also discussed going into this game on Thursday. Because like I mentioned to your colleague just now, we played pretty decent for 60 minutes, and then we didn't for the final 30 minutes, and that's when we lost the game. So since then, we've had a couple of other games, a few decent ones, a few less good. But now playing number 18 and we're halfway down the season, I finally hope that we can be more consistent in our performances than we've been so far.
I mean, I tried coming into this year, being in the position I'm in. I feel like I've always kept my mind pretty focused on every weekend I have to prepare as if I'm going to play. I think that's just kind of the position. You never know what's going to happen. I think Matt Freese has had a few moments in games in the past where like maybe he's injured, maybe not. So like, but I've always felt like kind of comfortable. If I have to play, I have to play. I think I'm still a young goalkeeper, but I think I'm also like more mature than I was years ago or last year or whatever it is. I feel like I'm in a good spot where I'm at a level where I feel like I can perform when I need to. And also I had this Open Cup game, which was really good. And then I had preseason. I had some games with El Salvador as well. So it's not like, yeah, every weekend I'm playing, which is always a challenge, but I feel good. I feel confident, and I'll do my best to help the team.
Is there some irony that, well, El Salvador is playing tonight in a World Cup qualifier, and now,
Yeah.
now you're getting your chance almost because you're not with them.
Yeah.
Is that
No, yeah, I mean it's look, it is a tricky situation. I wish the best for them, and I hope I'm talking with all the players and stuff like that. I wish them all the best of luck. It's a massive game, so I'll be watching that, of course. But at the same time, I think I've spoken with the coaches there, and and they know that I have a big opportunity to play as well, and it'll be my MLS debut with the club, which is super important to me. And they understand that as well. And I mean, I'm taking it very seriously, and they kind of understand my position on things right now. And but yeah, I wish them all the best. I mean, I'll be watching every game that they have.
Now I hope this is a fair question. So you made the decision not to go? Were they inviting you in and you decided to stay?
Yeah, I mean, it was like yeah, I would say that they always want me. I mean, obviously they have to make the decision and stuff like that, but we have a good communication, I have a good relationship with them. So it's always open. It's not like it's just like they send an email in and then they're telling me to come in. It's more like I have open dialogue with them all the time, and they kind of knew the situation. Or I had reached out and told them the situation with Matt leaving and stuff like that. And there's things up in the air, but we worked through it, and yeah, I want to play this game on the 12th, and they understand my position.
That's excellent. I guess my final question would be when LAFC, there were a lot of games played
Yeah,
in a row there. So I mean, you've had some very extensive, but that was 4 years ago. I just
yeah,
want you say you're a little more mature, able to handle maybe these situations, but that's kind of an oddity too, that you were a full-time keeper at one point in the league.
yeah,
It just hasn't quite
yeah. I
leveled
know
out
it's
yet.
it's I mean, it's goalkeeping is the weirdest position in football. I mean, when I was an academy player, and like I would look up to older goalkeepers, and they would always tell me like it's really hard being a goalkeeper, like the career that you have. And I didn't understand it at first, but now I've kind of understood a little bit more that like you get moments, you get opportunities, and you have to go. These things come and go in a way, and you have to work to get back to these positions. And when I was in LA, yeah, I had a big stretch of games, and it made me a better goalkeeper than the goalkeeper I am today. And then I went through some periods where I didn't have as many games. But it's just a part of the sport. It's just how it is. And I still consider myself very young for a goalkeeper. So I'm happy the position I'm in. I feel like I've been working a lot, doing a lot of making myself better and with different areas of my game. And I'm just ready to show that.
Well, both of you have fun Thursday.
Yeah, of course. It'll be great.
Onto the Zoom, we'll go with Scott.
Hey, Thomas, congratulations on everything. Talk a little bit in this case, coming from Cherry Hill down in Jersey. Is family going to be at this event for you, this match for you, or anything like that?
Yeah, of course. Like I get to see my family all the time, so it's amazing playing for this team and for that aspect. Obviously, like I grew up in South Jersey. I played for Philly. I played for LA, and then I played for Toronto. So like I was always on the move. I was always away from family. So being here in New York, it's very helpful because I'm only an hour and a half from where I grew up, and I get to go home. Like it was my brother's birthday the other day, and I got to see everybody and spend time with my grandparents and all this. So they're definitely be at the game, and it is a cool moment as well. Like I didn't grow up in North Jersey, so it's like not New York City was not necessarily my city, but since I am so close, like it is a big, it is for someone who lives in Jersey, it is a big moment to like play in the Yankee Stadium, for example. Like that's just something that maybe if you're not from this area that you wouldn't understand. So that is a big moment for me, and I'm excited for it.
Christian?
Hi, Thomas. You touched on it there. You're an El Salvador international. One of your teammates in Matt Freese has just made his international debut. Can you talk to me a little bit about what it says about Matt that he's been able to reach that level and earn that validation?
Yeah, I mean, I've known Matt since Union Juniors, so I don't even know how old I was, maybe 11 years old. And Matt's 2 years older than me, so I've known him for so long. So I'm super happy for him. Like it's an amazing moment for him. Like I texted him after the game. Obviously, the result was kind of weird and the things that happened in that game, but it's like amazing. That's like besides the fact that he got to make his debut, and that's such a big moment for him. So I'm happy for him. And I just hope he can keep going and play more games with them as well.
And you also kind of touched on it there. Goalkeeping is this weird position. There's one spot available, but whenever you talk to either yourselves or coaches, there's that goalkeepers union we hear a lot about. How is it to navigate the difficulty of one spot being available, but such a camaraderie amongst that group?
Yeah, I mean, my experience so far with all the goalkeepers that I've worked with in my career at different clubs, I feel like the best way to go about it is just to be like a goalkeeper union and to help the guy who's playing and to help the other players around you because ultimately, if the guy who's playing, for example, isn't playing well, then other goalies are going to get opportunities. But when it's hard, almost harder when you get that opportunity and the people around you aren't there to support you. I feel like what I've learned is that if you can everybody just supporting each other, pushing each other, then things will go well and guys will get their opportunity. And when you get your opportunity, you'll be in a good spot. So that's kind of the way I've seen it. And I guess I view it right now.
And lastly, we talk a lot in soccer about pressure being a privilege. And this game Thursday, it's an important game for the team relative to the season. How excited are you to feel that pressure and to step into that first team position?
Yeah, I mean it's great. I think that's a part of the sport. To be honest, like the way I've always seen it is like you feel the pressure leading up to the game, but when you're in the game, you kind of like feel much more relaxed and things just start happening. You're like less focused on how you feel. It's more like what's going on in the game. So like leading up, yeah, for sure you feel the pressure when you to win. It's a must-win game. Um, but when I step on the field, it's like the best feeling in the world, and I'm ready to have that again.
Perfect. Thank you.
Michael?
Yeah, sort of following up on that, Thomas. You talked about the pressure of the game on Thursday. Is there any added pressure from the fact of the results that happened in March, the 4-3 loss, and probably a game the team should have won? Is there any sort of added pressure because of that? Is there a sense of correcting mistakes then?
In a way, I mean, we did the video today, and Pascal he mentioned like we need to get this one back, because last time we had an amazing performance, I think, against them away, and then we just a few minutes went by and we just let it slip. So I think it in a way it gives us a lot of confidence, the performance we had against them last time, and I think we're at home and things are a little bit different, so we're coming with that, I guess, a little bit in the back of our heads. But at the same time, we're focused on what we need to do, and we're sure that we'll get the job done.
Scott, you have another one?
No, I'm good. Sorry about that.
Glenn?
So you mentioned, I'd forgotten you're a South Jersey guy. So I'm going to assume
Yeah.
when you're in City Field, maybe you've been there before for a Mets Phillies game, and we're rooting for the team from Philadelphia. I don't know if that would be the case, but
Yeah, I mean, talking about like other sports and stuff like that, I primarily focused on football when I was growing up. So like, I'm a Sixers fan, Phillies fan, Flyer fan, all these things, Eagles, but I don't watch the sport as much. So yeah, I primarily focus on football.
And are you friends with the Aronson boys?
Yeah, I grew up playing with them. We played for the same club team, Real, New Jersey. I know their parents well. I've been to their house and all this stuff. So it's amazing to see what they've been able to do. I'm happy that they both got called into the Gold Cup. And I guess growing up in Philly, they have so many homegrowns that have gone on to do amazing things. And it is like it's amazing because I went to the school in Philadelphia, so I was with these guys, yeah, YSC.
Yeah.
And I was with these guys every day. So it's like, it's a motivation to see what they've been able to go on and do. And we all come from the same place. So it's like, yeah, it's amazing.
Did you ever play in their basement? They talk about their basement.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have a giant basement. We played basketball, everything in there. Yeah, it's a good time.
Cool. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.